Hey the YouTube, Sebenza making another episode of Knife Talk, and today we are going to be doing a knife talk comparing the large and small Sebenza. And I know these are different styles, but in terms of size, they're about the same as, comparing them small and large. So, small and large knives, really it boils down to the preference of these two. They're both pretty awesome, and it just really depends on what size knife that you prefer. And to sum it up really simply and eloquently, I would say that Zippo This Knife That said it well when he said that the small is everything you need in a knife in terms of cutting ability. It has just enough handle to get 4 fingers on, for me at least, and has enough blade to do most what you need to do. And the large is everything you want in a knife. It has the extra bit of handle, that little bit more blade, comfy, everything. In terms of actual size differences between these, the main differences are that you can see the thumb stud on the large is larger. It aids in opening the knife, and the blade is broader on the large as well, as you can see, in addition to being longer. But interestingly enough, both of these knives are the same thickness. So while this one might be longer and broader, they are the same thickness, which is interesting in my opinion. Another difference in terms of size is obviously the handle. The large gives you a lot more handle, and the TI scales are a lot thicker on the large. So if you want something in the small, it sort of disappears in your pocket. Well, this, you can tell it's there, but it's not insanely heavy or anything. The handle is also wider on the large, obviously, for the blade. And the pocket clips are actually the same size, which is pretty interesting. So if you're just looking at one knife like that, you can tell it's a large because of how the pocket clip looks. You can see the small, it takes up a lot more room. It's closer to the pivot. So that's a little way you can tell if it's a large or a small without having anything else for comparison. So really, in terms of size, like which would I prefer if I had to pick one? I'd probably pick the large because, a large knife can do everything a small knife can, but a small knife can't do what a large knife can, basically. I like how this fits my hand. There's a little bit of extra handle sticking out, and my finger just rests naturally on the jimping. So really, it just feels really good to me in terms of a knife. The small feels good as well. I prefer the regular for smalls simply because of how you get more room. You see on the 21, it has this bump right here. The regular doesn't really have that, so you can get all the way out to the end of that handle, which on the small, you pretty much need to utilize every last bit of handle. But in terms of using actual knife, the small is actually really great. It'll do most what you need to do, but the large just does it better in my opinion. And if I had to pick one knife to carry, if I was carrying one knife and I wasn't restricted by any laws, I'd pick the large. But if I was restricted by a law, I'd obviously take the small, and it'd still be a great knife. It'd still do everything I needed it to do. So in terms of opening ease, I'm more used to the small, so that's why I can manipulate it easier. The large is, I'm still getting used to it. I've had a small for a very long time, since like March 2010. So I'm pretty used to using the small in terms of manipulating it and whatnot. Like some people will say the small is harder to open, but really, I think either one, you just sort of have to get used to it, And weight on these, I believe this runs at like 4.7 ounces. That's what it's advertised as. This is like 3. The thinness and the scales really help keep the weight down. And since the scales are thinner, it also carries very well. Like I said, this disappears in your pocket, whereas you can tell this is there. Which isn't bad, just different. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found that informative. And thank you for the views and the requests, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.